Can a Skinny DIPA mean that it's a diet beer? I don't think so. This is Lost Pier Skinny DIPA. Check out the review. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is by Lost Pier and it's a Skinny DIPA. So it's a double IPA, but it's called Skinny. So you think, oh, is it a diet sort of version of it? I don't think it is. I think it's just the fact that it's 7.5%. So it's probably a little bit lower. Most DIPAs start 8%, but this one at 7.5%. It's got Equinox, Eureka, and Mosaic hops. It says, make a big splash in the whirlpool to add pungent, ripe, tropical fruits, medium bitterness and moderate use of oats and wheats to give a balanced and juicy base. Skinny Dippers, we raise the beer in your honour. So, I mean, this is a sort of beer which is, you know, I suppose you could say it's, you know, going skinny dipping. Maybe that's the sort of thing that you do. I mean, there's people that do that sort of crazy stuff at this time of the year. They've got to be pretty crazy. But let's get this beer out of the can and into a glass. Now, it's the second Lost Pier I've had. The other one, we had a Lost Pier last month that was really good, a New England IPA. So that was the reason why I wanted to pick this, because I thought that they were pretty good beer. That was a pretty good beer. So let's see if they can keep that level of consistency up. It's quite strange that this is in a small little can, but you know, sometimes you just want something small. Maybe that's the main reason why it's skinny, because you only get a small can of it. So beer in the glass. It's orangey. It's got a haze, it's got a fair bit of haze to it, to be honest. We've got a 1.5 finger white frothy head. Yeah, it's quite orangey, which you would expect, really. I mean, let's get some aromas. Yeah, some real big sort of tropical sort of aromas in there, like mango and papaya. Mango's the big one. Bit of pineapple, maybe. Certainly, it's going to be a real sort of tropical sort of aroma, so I expect a very tropical sort of flavour. So, cheers, everyone. Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of double IPAs. It's got a level of dankness about it. It's got almost a little bit of a savoury note in there, that sort of slight oniony sort of flavour, which, you know, if you don't know double IPAs, that might sound a bit crazy. You know, surely it doesn't taste like onion, but you do get some of them that have a slight sort of you know, that sort of savoury spring onions. There's something slightly savoury about it. Yeah, dankness is what it's all about. The fruits are in there. There is a real over-ripened mango flavour, but it's not juicy and fresh and zesty, with, like, you know, any sort of combination of grapefruits or citrus fruits. It's very much in that sort of mango sort of level, which can taste, you know, there's a sort of a slight bitterness, but it's very, very slight. In terms of the mouthfeel, it's, for a double IPA, it's quite thin actually, and there's quite, the carbonation is sort of medium to high, which is quite unusual, really. It's quite, when you put it into your mouth, you know, there's that sort of fizziness that sort of zips that flavour around for a few times. Real sort of that dank fruit flavour. So you've got mango and you've got pineapple in there. Have you got much else? I mean, you've got the sort of hops that we've got in here. You know, Eureka. I mean, I don't think I've even had anything with Eureka in, but Equinox, a Mosaic. You know, Mosaic brings that sort of tropical notes, but usually when it's not, Mosaic's quite common to have it with Citra, for example, or Simcoe, or, you know, or both of those, and even some additional ones. But when it's on its own, as you say, I do find that when it's not paired with Citra, it does give you that sort of more dank tropical, very, very big on those sort of mango flavours. And, you know, if you taste a mango, if it's really sort of, you know, if it's, you know, when you first if it isn't over ripened, a mango, it can taste really fresh and really fruity and really nice. But if it's sort of over ripened and it's sort of like really, really soft and squidgy, and you eat it, then it does have that sort of much more sort of almost like earthier sort of flavour. And as I say, that's where I'm getting a sort of slight tinge of a sort of spring onion sort of flavour in there. It's nice. I'm glad it's in a small can though, because there's a slight warmth in there. I mean, for something that's 7.5%, you can get New England IPAs that's sort of 7.2, 7.4 even. You really get, even though it's the same, it's not far off in terms of alcohol, you can really you get that slight sort of warmth or hot burn even. But you know that you're drinking a double IPA opposed to a double dry hopped single IPA sort of thing. There is that sort of warmth, and that sort of just sort of sits in the back of your throat a little bit. It's nice, it's pleasant. This time of the year, it's probably what you want. You don't really, you're not generally, enjoying the sunshine and want something really fresh and juicy. To me, I want fresh and juicy all year round, With this, it's a nice example. I've had better double IPAs, though, that don't taste as, where the alcohol's hidden a lot more because the fruit's a lot more up front. Here, they're a little bit more dialed back a little bit. But as I say, if you like that sort of mango and you like double IPAs, then you might like it. So, Lost Pier, Skinny DIPA, 7.5% in a little can. Even that little can's 2.5 units, so you wouldn't want to have too many of these. So let's get some scores, shall we? Okay, the scores are in for Lost Pier Skinny DIPA. This is a double IPA and it comes in at 7.5%. So first thing first, aroma. Well, the aroma's for most double IPAs, you do get, when you start getting the ABV gets slightly going higher, you usually get a lot more of those sort of more pungent aromas. Here was a very sort of dank smell, almost sort of like slight savoury almost aroma, but mango, overripened mango was the big sort of fruit sort of aroma here. It's not bad, but it's, it doesn't sort of dance, it doesn't sort of get them taste buds going, so I'm giving it a 12 for aroma. Appearance wise, well, it's a yellowy hazy sort of beer. There's nothing that exciting about it, very sort of little in terms of head there. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour, it's an interesting one because I think this is really down to personal preference. When I don't mind a double IPA. You are getting to the point where I don't drink as many just because they're so strong. I don't want to be drinking loads of them. Sometimes you can have them. Certainly when you look with the likes of, say, Polly's, for example, we've had a couple of those double IPAs. Some of them just like to hide the ABV really, really well. You don't feel like you're drinking an 8% beer. You think you're drinking something that's sort of like 5.5%, 6%. And sometimes that warmth, that sort of, it's difficult to know whether it's the alcohol warmth or just a little bit of hot burn in there. And I think that can sometimes ruin the overall enjoyment of it. Certainly, I'm glad it's in a small can. I won't want to drink more of them. The mouthfeel isn't the best. There is a nice mango sort of fruity sort of taste, but there's no zestiness, and it's all very sort of mango with a little bit of a savoury afternote. Not much bitterness, which is good, but there's not really much sort of, I like a little bit more of a sort of citrusy or a grapefruit type of sort of backbone to it. It doesn't really have that. It's all very sort of mango with a slight savoury note, and then that's it. There's no sort of punchline to the end of this sort of drink. So it's okay, but I'm giving it 31 for flavour. Value for money. Well, I paid £4 for this, and this is a small can, £4. When you think about Beer 52, which I would give 7 out of 10 to, and then I'm paying £3 for that, so I don't think that's great value for money. It is 7.5%. It is a double IPA, so you've got to pay a little bit more because you get more alcohol in that can. But I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And then overall experience, well, it's nice. It's quite mellow. But I'm getting I'm missing. There's something missing from it. I'm getting that mango and that sort of savoury sort of note. That's, you know, spring onion. For me, it's like that sort of spring onion, slight oniony sort of flavour to it, which doesn't make it taste weird. It just makes it taste a bit different, and it's almost like you're not getting that fresh fruit sort of flavour. You're getting a very sort of a bit more of a dankness, but you know, you're expecting a bitterness to it, but there's no bitterness, and it's not piney at all really either. It's a different flavour, and I think it's, you know, we don't drink many beers. I mean, generally you probably, unless you spend all your time drinking double IPAs, then you're an alcoholic and you should go and get help. But, you know, because they're too strong to be just drinking those. Then I think that, you know, it's quite an unusual sort of flavour, and it's difficult to get used to. But I've had better double IPAs, and I don't think I'd want to drink too many of these, you know, purely for the alcohol, but purely because of the taste. You know, I want something a little bit more fresher, a little bit more refreshing even. So I'm giving it 13 out of 20 for overall experience. So we top those scores up, and we get still respectable, a 70. Just about hit the recommended. It's just about a White Snake beer. Yeah, I mean, it's probably, you know, it's probably the Love Hunter or Give Me All Your Love or Guilty of Love or a song like that, you know. Not the best White Snake song, but still a good one, because every White Snake song is good. And at 70, you can't recommend, you can't not like it. I mean, I've nearly drank it. I have drank it. Maybe if I had another one, I'd start getting used to it. It's a good beer. It's recommended, and I think that Lost Pier as a brewery, they're ones to watch out for. I noticed they've released a few new England IPAs that I'm going to probably try in the new year. So, until then, or until the next video I should say, because there'll be plenty more videos before the new year, you know what you got to do? You got to keep on rocking.